All right, Coach, here we are in sunny Northern California.
It's a sunny day.
This is the Bay Area.
Yeah,
And one of the things about, are we in Silicon Valley area?
we are.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's start there. We talked a little bit off camera about opportunity. I love the fact that wrestling gives people opportunity. I'm talking about boys and girls straight out of high school that they didn't know about, especially at the NAIA level. D1 or bust. Oh my God, I got to go to Penn State. I got to go here. I got to go there. Iowa has a girls program now. I'm going there or bust. NAIA offers incredible opportunity. Let me round out the question. In the Bay Area and Silicon Valley, what kind of opportunities can you offer a female wrestler?
I mean, too many. I mean, one, we're committed to traveling and competing year round. We run a pretty high level program, so we're committed to helping you become the best wrestler you can be. But then also on the back end, academically, I think one thing we offer that a lot of other schools don't offer is being able to reach different corporations, being able to network in some of the best corporations in America. Like, we're in Silicon Valley. Our area is the most affluent area in the country. Like, Jerry Rice and Steph Curry live in Atherton. Our school's in Atherton. You go make a right, you're in Palo Alto, right next to Stanford. You make a left, you're in Redwood City. You get on the highway, you're next to San Francisco. So I think a mixture of all that, and then with the booming business and the economy, like, usually when something is getting ready to take off in an app or into tech, it starts in the Bay Area. So if you think about Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, all these things, they start in the Bay Area. So when you come and get a business degree, or you get a degree in something that requires you working in the business field, I don't know many other states or areas that can really put you in a better position.
I saw cars driving themselves.
Oh yeah.
We don't have that in Ohio yet.
No.
I mean, there's nobody driving that car.
No. Yeah.
All right, academically, let's talk about academics. What's a classroom like here?
Small classroom, so you're looking at anywhere from 14, 20 is a lot. 20 is a lot, but when you get closer into your concentration, you could be in a class with less than 10. But individualized attention with professors. Your professors know your name. It's a good and a bad thing because it's small classes, but when you're not in class, we know because it's a small campus. So you're in class, your professor also knows you, but you can also go and get the help you need because you have a personal relationship with them. So that's kind of how classes work here.
All right. So family atmosphere was mentioned before, and I mean, like I said, there's no better example of a family atmosphere, especially in girls wrestling. I just can't say it enough, than hoisting a team trophy together. It's got to give you chills to even walk in a room like this with the family atmosphere. What's it like in here?
Man, it's a family. It's a family. We're a family, man. I mean, just as much as we're a family, this is a business too. The athletes, they count on each other to get the job done, and we work to get the job done, but it's a family. We understand that, hey, even if this is a business and I need you to do certain, you got to feel some love for me. You got to know I have your back, because if this was sales, you're not going to go try to make a sale for someone you don't care about or a business you don't care about. You got to be invested in what you're doing. So it's still a business because, we want to get dubs when we win, but at the same time, in order to get wins, unconditional love has to be established. So we're a family, but it's still a business.
All right. Love, psychology, what are the differences between coaching men and coaching women?
Patience in the wrestling room. Patience in the wrestling room is one. I mean, it's crazy. You start talking about wrestling, and you start talking about different things, and it's, one thing, girls are going to ask a lot of questions. You're going to show a single leg, and the girl's going to ask you why that works. Girl's going to say, well, what happens if they do this? What happens if that? And if you're threatened and you're not confident in being able to explain those things, and you are going to attack, I mean, that right there, that's the biggest difference. That's the biggest difference right there in girls wrestling, boys wrestling, in my mind, So patience is one, and then, unconditional love, knowing that they, my girls know I have their back, so I think those are the two big dynamics that really make the boys wrestling, girls wrestling different.
All right, Menlo College, tell me a little bit more about campus life? Is this a commuter campus? Do we have dormitories here? What's it like?
We got dorms here, so usually everyone lives on campus, but we do, we have a few local kids who do commute. Not too many this year. I believe everyone on campus lives on campus. Part of that is because, we are the most affluent area. So if you are coming to Menlo College, the cheapest place for you to live is on campus. Because if you try to find a place to live around here, I mean, this is it's a really affluent area, so everyone lives on campus for the most part. Small class sizes. Everything is, we're a really small campus, so you can literally walk from the dorms to the caf, to weights, to the wrestling room, all within 5 minutes. So this is, Menlo's the perfect place for no excuses, because there's no reason why you should be late, because everything is so close. It's really convenient, and if you're an athlete where it's like, man, I need structure, I need ease of access to training, I need ease of access to my coaches, man, it's perfect, because, Jesse lives on campus. He's easily to get into the room. Everything is just so close here.
All right, you're a Montana guy, right?
Yes.
I have that right?
Well, I'm from Chicago, but
okay.
I went to college in Montana.
Okay.
And Chicago has helped shape me a lot. But my time in Montana, getting to experience that culture, that plays a big part into who I am today too.
Yeah, and that's otherworldly to the Midwest, right? To the people from Chicago, it's like you might as well be on Mars or on the moon or something.
Yeah. But one thing about Montana, man, it's no matter what, you put your work boots on and you get going. No matter what, doesn't matter what it looks like. I remember being in Montana, man, in the wintertime and walking to work, and it's like no one's even blinking an eye, because everyone around is just like, hey, no matter what, that's what you got to do to get the job done. No one feels sorry for you, but if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But everybody's grinding in Montana, so it was different going into that. It was like, oh wow, I didn't know it was like that.
That's amazing. So you bring all kinds of experience. We've got a Southern California guy. We've got a Chicago guy that goes out west. You spent a little bit of time in Oregon as well,
Yep.
right? So you're just looking up and down your roster, a lot of people from the West, right? We have California, we have Washington, some Hawaii, am I
Yep.
right with that, right?
Yep.
So very rich in girls wrestling. What do you have to say to the Midwest girl? What do you have to say to those Ohio girls that might be looking for a change in their life?
Don't be afraid to come out to the West Coast. The Midwest girls, man, we want you here, but coming from the Midwest to California could be scary. It's a lot. You're traveling from one part of the country to the other part of the country. One thing I can assure you is you got family when you come here. And you got someone who's gonna look out for you, someone who's gonna push you in the classroom, someone who's gonna push you in the wrestling room, and someone who's gonna look out for your best interests. So you have to know that unconditionally, no matter what. Even if you don't know me now, you gotta know that if you come on a visit here and you're thinking about coming to Menlo, that's what you come with. And I think if you have that, 4 years of your life isn't much. You can always go back home. But you can come out here, learn the game from me and Coach Jay for 4 years, pick what we have, learn a little bit about our culture on the West Coast, and take it back to wherever you're from, and man, you could take off.
You just got back from Peru.
Yeah.
Tell us about your trip to Lima.
Oh man, it was cool. So Shannon Workinger, she took third for us at 155, and Kalia Shrive, she took third for us at 170. They made the trip out to Lima, Peru. They qualified because they both took second at U20s. So they earned a trip to the Pan Am Championships, and Shannon took first. She won gold. The way it works in Pan Ams is it's pool play. So you wrestle your pool, you qualify to get into the bracket. So she wrestled a 3-2 match in her pool where she won, and then wrestled that same kid in the finals, but then ended up beating her 6-1. Dominant 6-1 match. Like, it was completely different. Shannon is like the master of being able to make adjustments on the fly. Like, probably one of the most coachable athletes I've ever had. Like, literally could take feedback and take criticism all at once, and will try to make the adjustments right then and there. She showed it. And then Kalia Shrive, a true freshman for us, took third. She didn't get scored on. She didn't give up a single point. Just completely dominant. Just honestly, I thought she was the best wrestler of the tournament. Literally, no one was even a threat to her. She just walked through it, and they both helped us bring back gold as a country.
So what's next for the program here? We're sitting in a little bit of off season. It's the middle of summer. It's getting warm in this room.
Yeah.
But you got beautiful weather up here in Northern California. What's next? The next few steps here?
Next steps here, we're going to be a Division II team next year. So we'll be a Division II. Looking to potentially put more kids on national teams. Our focus, because we're not going to wrestle at the national tournament because we're in a probationary period. This year, we're focused on the USA Wrestling in Spokane, going to U20s and U23s. We want to make improvements. I think we had like 10 kids AA this year, but we got to move up higher on the podium. Last year we had no one placing U20s. This year we had a lot of people placing U20s, and we've also been able to have 4 of our athletes get invited to the training center. So we got to kind of continuously build on that. But then also, since we don't have a national tournament, there's still a lot of things that our athletes can benefit from academically, like kind of putting a little bit more into academics, putting a little bit more into your internships, putting a little bit more into networking, because a lot of our kids who AA are redshirting. So with them, I really want them to really dive into the area, dive into, getting the most out of their degree. Might not be wrestling related as much, but we can really tackle some of those things. And then my incoming class, we're still gonna have a full competition schedule. So we're going everywhere. They're going to U20s, U23s. We're wrestling at Tough Opens. We're gonna host a few tournaments, getting matches. At U20s, I told the girls, it's like pickup basketball this year. We're just trying to run games. We want to get as many games as we can get. It's not even about winning or losing. It's just being ready to compete. Like, if we can go out there and get 50, 60 matches this year, that's what we need to do. And that's the goal with my incoming freshmen this year, just going out and just getting a bunch of matches, getting a bunch of competition, and just loving to compete.
Tell me the psychology about moving from NAIA to D2. It's, in our neck of the woods, Bellarmine is one of them. I think Notre Dame College did the same thing years and years ago. Like as just a moron fan, I never understand what's the benefit of that.
So with us, what's happening is a lot of NAIA schools we're losing NAIA schools in California.
Okay.
So a lot of our schools, a lot of our programs here at the school, like baseball, basketball, there's more Division IIs around here. So it's easier for us to schedule. And honestly, for women's wrestling, it's starting to become that way with the programs popping up. So with all these programs starting to pop up, it's kind of smart for Menlo College to be a Division II institution.
Okay. So on the men's side as well, right?
Yes.
So it's going to be across the board. So that means San Francisco State, you'll be peers.
Be in the same conference. We'll be in that MPSF,
okay.
I believe is our conference.
Okay. I think you'll be the second D2 school in the whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Coach, what am I missing? What haven't I said enough of here?
I think you kind of hit a good amount. This is my last pitch. Come check out Menlo College. Don't be afraid to reach out. Friendly staff. Even if it doesn't work out, man, it's nothing but love and respect, man. And I'd love to get some of you Ohio kids out here. You guys are tough.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me out here. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you for coming.